name is Jason, and welcome back to I Have a Story. Today's Thinker Thursday. Use your Thinker Thursday. And using my thinker and thinking about inflation, I'm here to talk about something that is sparking my brain that nobody's talking about with the side of inflation. Generations ago, we were taught to buy American and be patriotic. Well, I've always, and it's part of why I've talked about foreign cars and use foreign cars as an example, because the foreign car market is one of our country's largest. They used to be the top, number one, to the top of our stock market. Excuse me, I still haven't got my meds yet. I've been out for, since last Friday. They were supposed to be filled, and I only get enough till last Friday, and my doctor still hasn't gotten to it, so I'm really sore. But here's a part of inflation that I'm seeing now, having known and been taught from the generations prior, where our generations now are being taught that's racism, and you're racist if you believe in supporting your country. I mean, again, I'm just looking at the chaos, and again, look at the words Obama. I just heard about Obama, and I don't know the context, but all I can do is relate his words to what I see today. Yeah, I see it. We were taught generations ago to buy American because that kept the money here in America. Now, you know, when the automotive manufacturers, our American companies, whenever they took a hit, the whole economy underneath it took a hit. It trickled down our economy. I've fought with so many people and had these debates. People want to talk about, I buy Toyota because they employ more Americans, and there's so much money being shown for America, but you're not seeing the absolute top line of it. Where does the majority of that money go? It goes back overseas to other countries. For how long now? So much money, that big top line, has just been leaving our country and going back to China, going back to Japan, going back to Taiwan, going back to all these other countries. So the big part of inflation that I see today is that we don't have money in America anymore. Now look at this. What makes something valuable? The fact that there is less of it. The more something exists, the less value there is in it. So now that our money does not exist anymore, and here's another thing too. So much of our money goes overseas, it's no longer American currency. They turn it into foreign currency. Just like when you say, living in America, here's a very easy one. You go to Canada, you go get some Canadian money, come back here and transfer it to American. I don't know all the roles in that, and I'm not going to research it all. I'm just going to use my thinker just with what the knowledge I have. That does seem like kind of makes a bit of sense. This is why I've been so pro-America and buy American, and why I was taught and raised in my foundations as a child to do so. We don't have money in our country anymore. I've already talked about how for the first time in history, during COVID, the money switched hands for the first time in American history. The people have always had more money than government and big business. Today it's no longer. Now big business and government has the money. And now there's less big business than there was before. The democracy's fallen and crumbled. But yet, listen to our Democrats speak democracy. That right there is the crumble of democracy. So why is it not talked about in inflation that we don't have any money anymore? And then we had Biden and Kamala has taken what money was here and taken your tax dollars and shipped it overseas and just gave it to China. Anybody know about all the oil that Biden gave China? But we can't take care of our own people. And he diminished our surplus, what our stocks were to fall back on, he gave it to China. Look at all the money he's given to Ukraine. Next week, on my Politics Tuesday, my plan is to make a video that I've recently came to my head that I've heard nobody else talk about, and that's about the millions of dollars that Kamala spent in India. And I want to talk about that right now because any of my viewers out there can find that information. Again, we are so censored. I try to Google it, and all I get is pages of how wonderful Kamala is. Now, I remember her coming out giving a speech going, I'm going to India and spending millions of dollars to promote women's rights. Does anybody else remember that, please? I can't find it because we now, again, are censored. They don't want me to find it, apparently. I remember it happening. I'm asking people, do you? Can you find it? But that was when we thought she was black. Now we know she's Indian. I question where'd that money go? Because women do not have rights in India. Those countries over there, it is still legal to beat your woman in public. And if you don't do it as a man, when she disrespects you, then you're looked down upon as a man. Yay, Kamala, you did another great victory for... Whoo! Where did that money go? So next week, I'm going to be talking more about that and some other things that I found this is what I see and I hear nobody talk about. So I really believe a huge problem with our inflation is the fact that there's no more money in America anymore. And obviously we have something, but not what we had that made us big, strong, powerful. Our current administration just gave the rest of it away. We can no longer help the American people, but we can give thousands of dollars individually to foreigners who did not put into that system. What happened to us being the big brother that when their country, and again, Kamala wants to say we need to figure out why people want to come here? No, we were the big brother supposed to go clean up those countries. And I even figured out how to clean up our border problem. I'll be sharing that one very soon too. Very simple. I think it would be great for everybody. The border crisis, I've just found a way that we just make it so easily done. There is an easy way around it. Getting there's not the easy part. Again, we don't, as Americans, we used to be the hard route was the best route, right? Now it's sit back and as easy as we can make it. That's why a huge part I see why we don't have progress today. Mentality has changed all the way around. I'm hoping to swing it back somewhat, bring some sort of balance back into that with people. So why is it not talked about with inflation that we just don't have money anymore? It's not just that oil costs more, so transportation costs more, and feed costs more, and we got a war over there, and they're charging us more for this, and we taxed Putin, so now he just made, again, oh my God, people. Biden comes out and taxes Putin, and what's Putin do? Not only does he raise his prices to match that, he says, you know what, you need me. So he went higher, and now he's actually making more money off of us than he was before all of that. I've watched the statistical analytic datas on all that stuff and seen the numbers and just went, oh my God, wow. Price pre, price after, and the numbers at where the levels all fall into place. Unbelievable. And our leader's so strong that he's patting himself on the back claiming, yay, I did it. Like he beat Big Pharma, who is, okay. Let's stay on this one because, God. I mean, part of why I laugh so much and I try to find humor in things is part because that's how I keep from losing my mind. We all have emotions, we all have feelings, and we all struggle dealing with some aspects of those. When I do, I either have to walk away and breathe or I have to laugh and find humor in it and then come back and face it as an adult. But I do come back and face it as an adult. So why is it not talked about in inflation? We don't have any money anymore. How many of you know that other countries no longer accept American currency because the American dollar's not worth anything anymore? It's, again, just like that woman reminded me. My country is my religion, and I'm watching my country fall and fold and break right now, and it is so painful. We need to come back together, people. We need to be Americans and do what made America strong, and that's unite again.